And I'm Anna.
Welcome to When Creativity Knocks. We're here with Holly Dare. How are you?
Hi.
And Holly's going to show us how to make some cookies, but just not any cookies, but how to rubber stamp and decorate and turn your cookie into a craft, right?
Into a cookie bouquet, yeah.
Very
Hey,
cool.
this is real. I'm excited. This will be really fun.
I know, because it involves rubber stamping.
Yes, it does.
This is the only craft you get to eat your mistakes.
I love that. We were doing earlier. She goes, oh, eat your mistake. I was like, this is my kind of craft.
One for me, another one for me. Oops, one more for me.
Right. So, Holly, what's step one here?
Well, we have used a cookie pop pan,
Okay.
and we've made shortbread cookies, but my trick for baking, because I'm a klutz and I have a really tiny oven, is I break my sticks and I put the smooth end into my cookie.
Okay.
And then when I can touch the cookie, when it's just cool enough to touch, I take the stick out.
Okay, got it.
And that gets rid of the ugly butter on the stick and allows me to put a clean one in later, and it keeps me from breaking the cookie and handling and whatever.
And now, these are all the same height, so you're pounding the...
You really pound the dough into
Okay.
the pan,
Okay.
and you also want to create steam holes with a fork.
So then it doesn't really rise that much. And you
Yeah.
know, I could
You
tell
don't
you,
want any dough that rises.
I could tell you from the South because I'll call it pop.
Yeah.
And or you call it a sucker or sucker mold. So
Yeah.
sucker cookie
what are you
mold.
talking about?
Well, they call it pop, and we call it, you know, soda here.
So we're working with fondant today, which you see a lot on wedding cakes. And I've got a little piece rolled out here. It's best to work on marble with a marble rolling pin. And to keep it from sticking, you want to put a little bit of cornstarch into a handy wipe and rubber band it. So that will keep everything from sticking. Another good tip, if you're new to working with fondant, is to use a rolling pin that has these guides on it, because if you keep between the rubber bands, you will always roll your fondant out to the right height.
Oh, okay.
And then we're going to make sure we're not stuck to the bottom here, which we are a little bit. Oh boy.
No, there's different kinds of fondants that to use, Holly.
Yeah, I totally recommend going to a baking supply or a cake decorating shop to get your fondant, because it's going to taste really good.
Okay.
Okay, so the next step is to go ahead and...
Our fondant has been rolled out, so feel that. Just rub it.
Here, I want to feel it too.
Okay.
Yeah. It's amazing what a
Oh my
difference a
gosh,
fondant, but still, a fondant smoother, it's just this dumb little piece of plastic. Now touch it.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Smooth as
so
a baby's bottom.
smooth.
Yeah.
It's very smooth.
So I'm going to use a roller just to make sure I ink everything up really well. This is a sponge brayer.
And that way you just make sure you get into every little corner and crevice of the stamp.
Yeah, and you get a really good even coating this way.
Okay.
And I'm trying to just stamp where I know I have enough room to cut it out.
Mm-hmm.
I always stamp first and cut out second, so that way the image is centered.
Oh,
that's
very
smart.
smart. Mm-hmm. Oh,
There we go. Happy
beautiful.
birthday.
Look at that.
And
Now-
then if you want to add anything like a little flower, a little butterfly, you could go ahead and stamp that around, because it's a little small for a cookie cutter, but we're just going to center this one and cut it out. And hey, eat the leftovers.
Now, how long does that
Nice.
take to dry?
You want to let the black dry for about 30 minutes, and then if you're going to paint it in with airbrush food color is what I recommend, about a half an hour later you can paint it in.
Okay.
Cool.
So we're going to add this to a cookie.
Okay.
I'm just going to turn this over. And again, because I've taken my sticks out, I have to be aware of where my hole is. So I always put the hole toward me. And this is corn syrup, which is basically glue for food.
We use that in my caramel corn.
Yeah. Whenever you're crafting with food, you just have to think of whatever the equivalent is that's edible.
But normally you'd wait till that was dry to put that on there.
No, I
No,
go
no,
ahead
you
and-
don't. Oh, okay.
Because I want the fondant supple,
Oh,
I just go ahead
gotcha.
and put it on.
Okay, gotcha.
So we would let this set up for like half an hour, and then we can paint it.
Oh, very.
And I have a happy birthday with a butterfly over there.
It's very
And
cute.
so then what are we using to use for the paints?
We're using airbrush watercolors. So I like to work in a pad or a palette that's been labeled, so I generally know my colors. And I think I messed up my colors, my labels here today, because I'm using a little bit different palette. But
Oh, do you want this cookie?
yeah,
Oh, sorry.
that's okay.
I was secretly trying to keep it for myself.
So it's basically when you're working with watercolors, it's a wet into wet. So I will dip my brush into the color, and this is a maroon color I have back here, and just suck it up into the brush, and then I always dap onto my paper towel. That way you don't hit your cookie with really hot color.
Oh, okay.
So my cup that I'm painting with today, or painting to match today, is maroon. So maroons and yellows and golds. So I'm going to paint my butterfly in that color scheme. And this is a little rosebud, so I'll just paint it as well while I'm here. Then you just swish to change your colors. I'll go with a peach. And again, always blotch your new color. Make sure you know how hot that color is before you start painting on your cookie. And another fun thing, Megan, that you might like to try is they also make food coloring markers.
Ooh.
Ah.
So if you want to help me color in here,
Don't give me
color a
purple.
little
You don't want
butterfly.
purple? What color? You want yellow?
Should I use yellow?
Sure.
Where do I color it?
Why don't you color that little butterfly
This
over there?
one?
Yeah.
This is so stressful.
And with the markers, you want to lay it more to the side. You don't want to do like a child.
Oh, yeah,
and tear
yeah.
it because it can tear through the fondant. So
Yeah.
just color kind of with the marker sideways.
Megan's actually a very good colorer. Her and her sister love to color in coloring books when they were
Yeah.
little. Ooh, I like the way that looks too.
And that's really a fun way to color if you're working with kids.
Mm-hmm.
And another really fun thing to do with color is they have these powders called luster dust
Okay.
that bakers use. And if you want to do something
Oh.
shimmery, I have a sunflower over there that I painted in with just the
Oh,
dust.
wow, that is really
You can
pretty.
also do a combination of that. Like you could lay down your food color, let that dry, and then go over it with more dust. And it even adds more depth and dimension to
Wow,
your colors.
that's really pretty.
Yeah.
kind of went outside the lines.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. You can't even see.
And I think that's part of a little flower there too. If you want to color that in,
I
I'll
thought
finish
that might
this
be like
little-
your initials or something.
Oh no, that was part of the. I use different stamps. Sometimes I'll use a stamp that's a little bit bigger and just cut off part of the image.
Mm-hmm.
And
How long does it take for those to dry on there?
you definitely want to leave it on for half an hour before you put it in a baggie. Like if you're going to bag it before you put it into a cookie bouquet,
Okay.
you want to let the colors set up for like half an hour.
Cool.
So to put your stick on your cookie, just put the very tip into the, this is again the corn syrup. Find your hole and just, you can feel it stop when it hits
That's
the right
really
spot.
cool that it's working like glue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really great.
It's really neat. It stays in there and it keeps the fondant really soft and supple so the cookies
Oh, it
even
does.
fresher for days.
Oh.
It doesn't ever get hard because it's on the corn syrup. So I always like to take a stick
heavy.
that's just all by itself. And I like to judge where I want my cookies to go. And the cookies are about the size of the palm of my hand.
Okay.
Just the round part. So I always kind of work where I think they're going to go and judge the height. And I like one really low in the front. And then I try to put like higher ones in the back.
Okay.
And same thing. So I just drill my holes with my cookie stick with no cookie on it. I also, this is obviously styrofoam in the cup. I put something tall in the back because the human eye likes to come in kind of high and then drift. So then you would take your cookies that you finished.
Now, normally, would you put those in cello first, a cello bag?
I would put them in cellophane. And just make sure that nothing is sticking in front of the little sentiment there, because that I might move that over because it's saying happy birthday. I want people to be able to see that. You can cover your
Plant.
plant with, yes, that's Excelsior.
This is what the Easter Bunny gives me every year.
So how many cookies normally would you put in a little mug like this?
You know, in this mug, I generally put about 3.
Yeah, the odd number thing.
Yeah. But I also I have this big vase that I'll make a 12 Days of Christmas bouquet.
Oh, cute.
And I put, I put 13
cute.
Or
days
the
in
8
them.
days of Hanukkah.
Yes, or the 8 days of Kwanzaa too.
Shout out to Josh.
Whoop, whoop. So let's see, we covered my hole here. There it is.
Oh, sorry.
And
That's
then
super
I have your
cute.
bow.
yeah. Then I always add a little bow, so we work that in. I also I love to add a little piece of ivy down in the front because again that helps draw the eye down. So I always put a little bend. And the other thing I like to make, because this is an edible bouquet, is I always like to make a little floral kiss or a little floral
Oh,
rose.
cute.
So we've taken 2 Hershey's Kisses and I insert wire. And then you just take the wire and you wrap it around a floral pick.
And could you use a toothpick if you didn't have a floral pick?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
And then I take a 4-inch square section of cello, and you can buy this in all kinds of colors.
Okay.
And you take this, and you take floral tape. Have you guys worked with floral tape?
I have, yeah.
I know you have. So as you stretch, you expose the glue. So you just keep stretching, and hopefully you don't wad it up. Let's see, we could probably cut that wire if you guys can find the wire cutters back there. There. That works.
Yeah, did it. She's going around.
And when I get just a little bit on there, I take this and I grab my scissors, which hopefully we ended up with on the
We don't
table.
have them on the
No, I was
table.
using them earlier.
But that's okay. You would just.
Okay, you take your scissors and you cut this. And then you come back with more floral tape. And
finish
you keep
wrapping
wrapping it up. And if you have a little leaf left over from your bouquet.
Very cute.
And then
then
this
you
way
add
you
that.
have the stem. You can add the little leaf on here.
Yeah.
And then get my fat hand out of the way so you can see that. And then you just stick it. You do it.
Anywhere
I
you
don't
want
want to ruin it.
Oh, you can't ruin these.
So you would maybe make 5 or 6 of these little
Oh yeah, I
pieces?
make a whole bunch at a time.
Okay.
And they're great for church bazaars and whatever. And you can also put live flowers in here, but you put your cookie sticks in those rose tubes. You know, the
Oh,
little
yeah,
tubes
yeah,
there,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
You put your cookie sticks in those to keep them dry. And then you put your floral
very
roses and your
cute.
water
Oh,
with
cute.
the flowers
Very
in there.
cute.
So
Cool.
just make sure they're organic flowers because you're working with food.
I was
Oh,
going to
okay.
ask if that mattered. I was going to like, well,
Yeah.
what if your flowers...
Either organic flowers or definitely bag your cookies.
So now, if you have one last question I have for you. Now, if you didn't put these individually wrapped in the cello, you would wrap then a big cello over the
Yes.
whole top.
That's
okay.
another.
Yeah, she's really big on that whole cellophane wrapping thing.
But
I'm
it's
really
great.
good at it. You
It's
should
a great
see my
way to
setup.
just finish it off.
Well, Holly, thank you so much. What
This
a
is-
very cute project.
I really liked it. It's very a tasty project for us.
Yeah,
This is a very true story. I'm probably going to steal all your cookies, but hey, thanks anyway.
there for you.
So you know what we always say when creativity knocks?
Open the door.